Hey guys, welcome to Jen's Lemonade Life. Today we are going to talk about this. We're going to talk about moving. So I counted up and I have moved 26 times in my life. That is crazy. That is absurd. I'm only 34, so I have had more than my fair share. And a lot of that has been as an adult. So this is my 27th residence. I just moved, as evidenced by the box. And probably also by the bad lighting and the shaky camera and everything, so I apologize about that, but still in the process. But I really wanted to share a video with you, kind of sharing my tips and tricks that I've learned over the years to hopefully make it less stressful for you. Tip number 1, be rich so you can have other people pack and move and unpack for you. That's all we have for today. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, just kidding. Just kidding. I mean, if you can afford it, by all means, it is very helpful to have other people do the work for you, because it is stressful and it is hard work. But if you like to have more control over it, and more importantly, if you can't afford that kind of thing, let's talk about other options that you can do. If you are really in a pinch for money and needing packing boxes, one thing that I've done over the years is to go into Walmart late at night when they are stocking things up and just poach empty boxes. Just ask to take the boxes, and more often than not, they will let you take them. Of course, some are more sturdy than others, and there are pros and cons, but ultimately it's free, though you might have to make a few trips. If you are willing to spend a little bit of money, it's not too ridiculously crazy expensive to actually purchase some boxes so that you have them uniform in size and shape, and it really does help with organization and carrying. Now, to tape boxes, I certainly am not an expert on different kinds of tape, but I did use 2 different kinds on this last move, and I will say that I was very disappointed with one, and I noticed problems with it before. You'll have to forgive me. Hopefully I can remember and include it down below, but I think it was the duct tape brand with the easy, like an easy edge or easy off, easy find the edge kind of thing. But the thing is, that means that the adhesive is not as good and it's constantly popping up off the box, not really staying in place like it needs to. If your boxes are still in good shape, like mine were, good for your next move, you might have different labels on them. So this year I did 18 and a circle around it, so I knew for sure what the contents were. So important when you are packing things, keep yourself a box. This is actually my must-have box. So I knew that shortly after my move, I was going to be going on vacation. So the passport went directly in there, as well as just things that I needed to be able to access, that I didn't want to have to say, oh my gosh, out of that half dozen boxes for my office, which one is it in? Now, there are some things that actually, unfortunately, are lost in the mix. And I'll just have to open up some boxes and see if I can find them. But that being said, this has been extremely helpful. And it also gives you a good clue when you are writing on a box, open first or last to be packed, gives you an idea, because the things that you need the most are generally left out until the very end, and then that way it gives you somewhere to start. So when you're looking for things, if it's not all going to fit in one easy box, you know where to go looking. One tip that I definitely should have mentioned at the beginning probably is, before you start packing everything, find some time to do a deep declutter, which is what I actually did. This year was massive. I have several videos if you're interested in that, and what helped me as a clutterbug pack rat on how to get rid of so much stuff. I got rid of a lot of stuff, so you can definitely check out the videos. They are on my channel if you subscribe, and go looking for them. I'll try to put a playlist down below as well. So make sure when you're packing heavy things like books to not put them in some giant box. This is probably common sense, but I don't know. If you don't move a lot, you might not think about it. But definitely small boxes for those really heavy things so you don't break your back. And also another tip that I've tried and liked is to take those suitcases that have wheels on them and put books in there. So you do still have to lift it, but anytime that it can be wheeled on a flat surface, it makes it a heck of a lot more convenient. As much as I like to save money and be healthy, moving is not the time to do that. So having some sort of snack foods, easy to cook foods, even coupons for eating out, and paper and plastic utensils, that kind of stuff, while it may not be your normal routine, it is definitely going to be a lifesaver when it comes to the move. When possible, I keep out extra towels and pillows and bedding and stuff like that. Instead of just putting them all in one box, making it really lightweight, I save those to use as free packing material for padding things like dishes and vases and that sort of thing. So save some money and just be smart with your packing. If you're like me and maybe struggle with remembering what cords go where, how everything's wired, go ahead and take a picture so you can reassemble properly later. When possible, I definitely prefer a gradual move. Like if you can afford it and you're only moving maybe a mile down the road, then you can afford to move things over a little bit at a time. That's what I did with this. So I had almost a whole month to, hey, I'm driving that direction. I'm going to just load up my car, take a car load over. And then that way it was less stress on the actual day of. It created more room. And I was actually able to bring over my bookcases, and it was like a dozen boxes of books and games, and unpack them when I had a free afternoon. And then I was able to reuse all of those boxes. So it was really handy. Now, if you're moving to another state, several hours away, something like that, you're not going to be able to do the gradual move. This move was probably my most organized ever. I made sure to put up notes on each door entryway so people knew, for example, in this room, I only wanted them to take the gray shelving units, the stuff that was in the closet, the stuff that was off to the side. That was stuff that I needed to take over separately, that I didn't want damaged, that kind of stuff. The things that I was still going to use to clean the apartment. A shot of my dog just being adorable because she's like, I don't have anywhere to cuddle. But anyway, if a closet was emptied, I made sure to just put nothing in here, but there's a bathroom if you need to use it. And I just try to make piles easy to get to. There were some things going to a storage unit in a separate car, so I left a note there. So either way, when you looked at each room, like no one had a question what to do. And of course, I did keep the kennel so the dog would not be underfoot, wouldn't get out, wouldn't get hurt. And I did leave some little treats, or I bought some treats, some water, because I was on the 3rd floor and that's a lot of exercise, some donuts because it was moving in the morning, but just a little treat for my helpers. And speaking of helpers, it was really awesome to get a whole bunch of guys from church and some friends with their trucks, borrowing trucks from work. We actually had 3 trucks and did it in really quick time. Didn't even need to pay for a U-Haul. I was so grateful, so blessed that I have that community with church and friends. That's not available for everyone, but that is definitely something to consider if you are low on funds and can't afford help and hurting yourself with all that lifting. If you're also not able to afford a whole cleaning crew for that deep, super deep clean that you got to do to get that deposit back, like me, you're going to do it yourself. Now I've got a bunch of rags. You do want to make sure as soon as you get to your new place, lay them out to dry. You don't have to clean them right away, but just lay them out to air out, because I did last time I moved forget them and just put them in a grocery bag and found it moldy months later. So just a little heads up, that's helpful. And last but not least, definitely take this time to rethink and reshop some things. For example, I have been with the same car insurance company for quite a few years, just kind of out of habit, and you assume because of your loyalty that you're getting the best possible deal. That is not the case. I got like twice the coverage for half the price or something crazy like that when I ended up switching provider. And it might be because there was, some promotion, but a lot of it also has to do with where you live and where the markets are and that kind of thing. So go ahead and reshop some car insurance. And I almost did a whole video on this. Definitely look at your internet provider. So where I live, there is Cable One, which I did not have fantastic service from, when I first moved to Idaho. And we have CenturyLink, which, as a coworker described, working with CenturyLink is like deciding to have a voluntary lobotomy. I had 2.5 weeks of horror, lies, incompetence, nightmare. Finally, it was kind of resolved. I'm still trying to work with them to get credit because of all of the extra money that they cost me. And anyway, long story short, I wish I had been really doing my research and had switched providers, because not only are they a holy terror to work with horrible service, but I am getting less than half the speed at my last place. Like, they can't even give me the speed that I had at my last place. But for pretty much the same price, like, it's frustrating. So, even before you pick out a place, if fast internet is important to you, definitely do your shopping. See what is available at where you're looking to move to. So anyway, I hope these were helpful to you. I am a little bit tired. My place is a bit crazy right now. I am actually going to be on a plane to New Zealand and Fiji like really soon. So I'm going to have lots of fun videos from there coming out. I hope that I can just get things worked out. But sometimes I know I can just throw these videos up because I could commit to myself and to you guys to put them up every Friday. But like last week, I kind of skipped it because I'd rather do more quality than just shoving it out there. So if you found this helpful, definitely give it a thumbs up. If you have not already subscribed, please do so. And if you know someone that's going to be moving soon, go ahead and share this video with them. Hopefully they will find something helpful. And if you have any helpful tips and tricks about moving, definitely leave them in the comments down below. Was there something that I missed? So thanks for joining me here on Jen's Lemonade Life. I'm Jen, and I will see you next time. Bye.